Nice that you looking at. I knew you were trouble. Don't forget to subscribe. I Knew You Were Trouble is a song by the American singer-songwriter Taylor Swift from her fourth studio album, Red, 2012. She wrote the song with its producers, Max Martin and Shellback, instrumented by electric guitars and synthesizers. I Knew You Were Trouble has a production that incorporates pop subgenres. Its refrain is accentuated by a dubstep wobble and Swift's distorted vocals. Music critics found the dubstep production a radical departure from her previous country pop sounds. The lyrics are about a narrator's self-blame after a toxic relationship upon recognizing the warning signs in hindsight. Big Machine, in partnership with Republic Records, released I Knew You Were Trouble to US pop radio on November 27, 2012, as the second pop single and the third overall from Red. The song peaked within the top 10 on record charts and received multi-platinum certifications in Australia, Austria, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK. In the US, the single peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and spent 7 weeks at number 1 on the pop songs chart. Its success on pop radio inspired Swift to recalibrate her artistic identity from country for pop on her 2014 album 1989. Initial reviews were divided. Positive comments found the production bold, but criticisms deemed it derivative. Retrospective opinions have regarded I Knew You Were Trouble as one of Swift's career-defining singles. The music video for I Knew You Were Trouble premiered on MTV on December 13, 2012. Directed by Anthony Mandler, it depicts Swift with an unfaithful man and ending up alone in a desert. The video won an MTV Video Music Award for Best Female Video at the 2013 MTV Video Music Awards and the Phenomenon Award at the 2013 YouTube Music Awards. Swift performed the song at awards shows including the American Music Awards, the ARIA Music Awards, and the Brit Awards. She included I Knew You Were Trouble on the set lists of 3 of her world tours: the Red Tour, 2013-2014, the 1989 World Tour, 2015, and the Eras Tour, 2023-2024. After a 2019 dispute over the ownership of Swift's back catalog, she re-recorded the song as I Knew You Were Trouble, Taylor's version, for her 2021 album Red, Taylor's version. On her fourth studio album, Red, 2012, Taylor Swift aimed to experiment with musical styles other than the country pop sound that had defined her artistry. To do so, she worked with producers located outside her career base in Nashville, Tennessee. One such producer is Max Martin, whose production inspired Swift by How Can Just Land a Chorus. Swift met Martin and Shellback in Los Angeles, and the three wrote 3 songs on Red, including I Knew You Were Trouble. Swift developed the basic melody of I Knew You Were Trouble on piano. She asked Martin and Shellback to help with the production, and they incorporated elements of dubstep, a genre that was popular in UK clubs at the time. Although Swift had been familiarized with dubstep through the music that Ed Sheeran introduced to her, she was not aiming to embark on specific trends and instead wanted the sound to convey the chaotic emotions of the lyrics, deeming it the boldest musical direction of the album. Swift thought that the audience would be freaked out over it when they listened to it. I Knew You Were Trouble was recorded by Michael Ilbert at MXM Studios in Stockholm, Sweden, and by Sam Holland at Conway Recording Studios in Los Angeles, California. It was mixed by Sherban Ghania at Mix Star Studios in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and mastered by Tom Coyne at Sterling Sound Studio in New York City. Martin and Shellback both produced the track and played keyboards in it. The latter also programmed the track and played acoustic guitar, electric guitar, and bass guitar. I Knew You Were Trouble is about being involved with someone who is irresistible but flawed. Swift's narrator blames herself for falling in love with him upon recognizing the warning signs in hindsight. The song uses the verse-chorus form with an added post-chorus. Music critics described I Knew You Were Trouble as a dance pop, pop rock, and teen pop song. It features bass guitar, electric guitar, and keyboard. The melody displays influences of dancehall, while Swift's processed vocals were influenced by R&B. The dubstep refrain includes a wobble, synthesizers, and Swift's distorted vocals. The instrumental halts at the bridge, where Swift contemplates on her past relationship, "You never loved me, or her, or anyone, or anything." Critics considered the dubstep experimentation on I Knew You Were Trouble a significant departure from Swift's country pop beginnings, while describing how the song's style felt sudden and unexpected when compared to other tracks on Red. The musicologist James Perrone believed that it was logical for first-time listeners to react in surprise upon hearing I Knew You Were Trouble if they were familiar with Swift's work prior to its release. John Caramanica of the New York Times commented that the dubstep wobble was a wrecking ball that shifted the dynamic of not only the song but also of Ms. Swift's career. Randall Roberts from the Los Angeles Times remarked that although dubstep had been popularized by DJs such as Zedd and Skrillex, I Knew You Were Trouble generated much discussion because it introduced the genre to a wider audience of mainstream pop, which had been sonically conservative for the past half-decade. In Pitchfork, Brad Nelson commented that the production was sharp as lyrics. The dubstep experimentation divided contemporary critics. James Reed from the Boston Globe wrote that I Knew You Were Trouble and the other tracks produced by Martin and Shellback were unoriginal. Amanda Dobbins from Vulture felt the dubstep sound was not innovative, but praised the song as yet another plucky, vowel-laden Taylor Swift breakup jam. In a Red album review for The Washington Post, Alison Stewart criticized the production as gratuitous and weird, which overshadowed Swift's lyrics. In defense of Swift, Randall Roberts from the Los Angeles Times said it was unfair to criticize a 22-year-old for adapting with the times. Though Roberts acknowledged that critics could dismiss the refrain's bass drop as conceit, it was justifiable for Swift, whom he considered a leading pop star, to experiment with mainstream trends. In positive reviews, John Caramanica from the New York Times and Chris Willman from The Hollywood Reporter praised the song for exhibiting Swift's versatility beyond country. Slant Magazine's Jonathan Keefe praised I Knew You Were Trouble as one of Red's best tracks because the production is creative and contemporary in ways that are in service to Swift's songwriting. In a review for Spin, Mark Hogan praised Swift's songcraft and remarked that although the dubstep experimentation initially came off as unoriginal, it ultimately gets absorbed into own aesthetic. The song featured on 2012 year-end lists by Spin and The Village Voice's Pats and Jop critics poll. Retrospective reviews of I Knew You Were Trouble have been generally positive. Hannah Mailria from NME and Alexis Petridis from The Guardian considered the single a bold artistic statement for Swift, ranking it among the best songs of her catalog. In a 2021 retrospective review, Laura Snapes from The Guardian commented that the song was the rare pop EDM crossover that stood the test of time. Swift premiered one Red album track each week on Good Morning America from September 24 until the album's release date of October 22, 2012, as part of a 4-week countdown. I Knew You Were Trouble was the third song that Swift premiered, on October 8, 2012. The day after the Good Morning America premiere, Big Machine Records released the song onto the iTunes Store for digital download. Big Machine, in partnership with Republic Records, released I Knew You Were Trouble to US pop radio on November 27, 2012, as an official single. It was the second pop radio single from Red. Following We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, a limited CD single edition featuring fan-exclusive merchandise was available through Swift's official website on December 13, 2012. I Knew You Were Trouble was released as a radio single in the UK on December 9, 2012, and in Italy on January 11, 2013. On November 3, 2014, Swift removed her entire catalog from on-demand streaming platform Spotify, arguing that their ad-supported free service undermined the platform's premium service, which provides higher royalties for songwriters. In December 2015, the media reported that I Knew You Were Trouble had been re-delivered to Spotify, but its credit was mistakenly given to Welsh band Lost Prophets and lead singer Ian Watkins. The song was removed from the site after 3 days. Swift re-added her entire catalog on Spotify in June 2017. In the US, after its digital release, I Knew You Were Trouble debuted at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Digital Songs chart, with 416,000 copies sold during the first week. It was Swift's 11th song to debut in the top 10 of the Hot 100. Together with Red's lead single, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, it made Swift the first artist in digital history to have 400,000 digital sales opening weeks after its radio release. The single returned to the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and the number 1 position on the Digital Songs chart in December 2012 to January 2013. Buoyed by strong digital sales, I Knew You Were Trouble reached its peak at number 2 on the Hot 100 chart dated January 12, 2013. Behind Bruno Mars' Locked Out of Heaven, 2012, the single was Swift's first number 1 entry on Adult Top 40, despite not being released to country radio. The single debuted and stayed for 1 week at number 55 on the Country Airplay chart in April 2013, resulted from 33 unsolicited plays from Los Angeles radio station KKGO. I Knew You Were Trouble spent 7 weeks atop the mainstream Top 40, a chart monitoring pop radio in the US. It was her second mainstream Top 40 number 1, following 2008's Love Story, and became her single with the most weeks atop the chart. The single's success on pop radio prompted Swift to abandon country and transition to pop on her next studio album, 1989-2014, which was executive produced by Swift and Martin. By July 2019, I Knew You Were Trouble had sold 5.42 million digital copies in the US. The Recording Industry Association of America certified the single 7 times platinum for surpassing 7 million units based on sales and on-demand streaming. In Canada, the single peaked at number 2 on the Canadian Hot 100 and was certified 5 times platinum by Music Canada. I Knew You Were Trouble charted in the top 10 on record charts of European countries, peaking at number 1 in the Czech Republic, number 3 in Denmark, number 4 on the Irish singles chart, number 6 in Austria and Russia, number 8 in the Commonwealth of Independent States and Switzerland, number 9 in Germany, and number 10 in Belgium, Flanders and Finland. The song received platinum certifications in Germany and Switzerland. In the UK, I Knew You Were Trouble peaked at number 2 on the UK singles chart and was certified triple platinum by the British phonographic industry. In 2014, The song was covered by American metalcore band We Came as Romance, all part of Fearless Records' Punk Goes Pop Vol. 6. American singer Sabrina Carpenter recorded a stripped-down cover of the song as part of the Spotify Singles series in 2023. This is the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.